We're just about to get this show started. I can't wait to see all of you guys. It's good to be back, and I hope you are excited today because we have a lot to talk about. Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. If you don't know who I am, I'm Chris Mizo. We always talk about PC and tech. And we had a lot of news over the past, actually today, with the whole Nintendo Switch 2 being released. I don't know what everybody thinks about that, but that's a topic we could go back on since we mostly talk about PC and tech stuff anyway. But as you know, we did this build, the 9080 XT, which I'm really excited about. I've been doing a lot of different tests on it. I've even gotten to the point of overclocking, and I'm still doing a little bit more tests just to make sure that everything is just right, because I want to get the perfect benchmarks so that way I can share with everybody out there who is thinking of getting an AMD RX 9070 XT. And I got some really exciting news for everybody out there, especially for those who are trying to get their hands on a GPU, because if you haven't noticed already, the supply seems to be growing. And it should be a lot more easier to get hands on a RTX 50 series if that's what you're looking for, or getting even a RX 9070 XT. And we could fully expect a more full supply within about 3 to 4 weeks. So for all those who have been suffering without a GPU or is in desperate need to get a GPU, you can certainly expect one soon. And I have very important announcements to make and very exciting announcements, especially for next week. We should be expecting some more product coming in, and there will be more live unboxings to see what we have. And it's going to be more PC components. It's going to be exciting to see exactly what type of PC components they could be. They could be really anything. Now, it's going to be quite a debate depending on what it is, and possibly even another giveaway that could be coming up soon. The best part about the upcoming products that are supposed to be coming in, we could either do another PC build, which would be very interesting, especially what possibly could come in. Not sure exactly 100% what it could be, but as soon as it does, we can certainly dive into it. And again, possibly another giveaway. If you haven't joined already, there is a giveaway that is currently going on my YouTube channel. If you haven't seen my page, just go to chrismizo.com and go to the YouTube icon and find the RX 9070 XT build. If you do, then you can join the giveaway that way. What I will be personally giving away to everybody out there is a heatsink. It's a 990 Pro, Samsung 990 Pro. You can put inside of a PS5 even, because again, it comes with the heatsink. So if you choose to use it in a PS5, you certainly can, or you can put it inside of a PC, but you don't have to use the heatsink if you don't want to. Right now, I'm just keeping my eye on the clock as well, because I'm actually boiling some eggs and I don't want to overboil them. I don't prefer my yolk. I prefer my yolk in between. I don't like it overcooked. But anyway, for those who haven't joined the giveaway, please do. It's a big thank you for all those who are part of the fan band. It's very simple instructions. If you're not following me already, make sure you do on all platforms, whether if it's on TikTok or if it was on YouTube or Twitch or on X. These are all the platforms that I'm currently streaming on right now. So make sure you just follow through. And again, for everyone who is just joining in, this is about PC and tech, which again, I'm excited about it. So Callum just came in from YouTube and he just has a question about a GPU. What's up, Plano? Good to see you. What is the best GPU you can get your hands for 550, I'm assuming USD dollars? The best current GPU, there are going to be two in the market. Not really two, but 550. If you're including AIB, that's a little bit tough. I would just say go for the RX 9070 XT. You don't have to go for the top AIB one. They do have the lower tier ones, but it's a little bit more. You'll spend about $600, and to find that price, you could be lucky and find it on Newegg. If you can't find it on Newegg, you can certainly find it at a place like Micro Center. They would definitely have it. So Plano mentions, you mentioned different platforms you stream on. Which one should I join since I'm on X, YT, and Twitch? Just join any platform that you preferably use. You could use any of those platforms. And excuse me, guys, I apologize. Got to be right back and check on those eggs. Again, I don't want them to get too hard boiled here. Be right back. All right, I am back. So, speaking of eggs, you could again get it on a place like Newegg. Typically, Newegg is really good with those type of products. If you're trying to get a RX 50 series, they are getting more in. It should be about 3 to 4 weeks. We could expect a large flow of it. You're probably seeing a lot of notifications if you are following for a RTX 50 series. You might see some on Amazon, you might see some on Walmart, you might see some on Newegg, but typically on Newegg, you're gonna get the combo deals, unfortunately. They don't really have them quite separate. I don't know why. I feel that Newegg should do the shuffle more often. It would be better for the PC community, especially for those who are just trying to upgrade their card or just trying to build their PC, and the GPU might be the very last component that they need to really do this build. And the RX 9070 XT is also an excellent choice. I've been quite impressed, I gotta say, from the different overclock numbers and seeing what it can do and how it can perform on this PC build, which again, it's not the cheapest build, but it is certainly way cheaper than getting a RTX 5090. So it's not a must to get an RTX 5090. Sure, you got 32 gigabytes of VRAM, but it is not a must. We actually built this PC for just slightly over 1800, and again, it has some really great components, such as the power supply. It is a platinum. It is an 80 plus platinum power supply, so it is 90% efficient, even though it's at 100% full on use. So you could really save energy, and on top of it, you could be able to enjoy the games that you want. With the RX 9070 XT, it's undergoing some testing. It seems that it does really well, even on undervolting. So if you're looking to even save more energy, you could certainly do it with that card. Hopefully we get some more components coming in next week. It's going to be quite a handful. I'm expecting at least 2 or 3 shipments. So I will share those components with you as soon as they come in. And if you're wondering why I'm looking over on my other screen here, I got my chat on this screen. So let me actually bring it here so it would be a lot easier instead of breaking my neck looking over at this, looking over trying to find this chat here. There we go. And okay. Yeah, it seems like, let me just check something right here too, because I just got to make sure that this stream is going correctly, because it seems that the chat window is not popping up. So I want to make sure that you guys can see each other at least talking. So let me just reconnect to this to make sure that it is working properly, since I'm not seeing anything come up through it. And again, that probably has to do with this new update that they have on social stream. Oh, that's exactly I found the problem. Okay. Perfect. Now you guys should be able to see the chat. I'm just going to type something in just to make sure. Let me see if it's working properly here. And where's it at? Sorry about this, guys. Just trying to figure out what's going on with this thing. And I don't think it still found it. All right. Auto find and activates. Activate source. There we go. There we go. All right, guys. I'm just getting everything all connected. I'm going to go over exactly what I do here. I'm Chris Mizo. I talk about PC and tech. I'm just trying to get the chat window up just to make sure everything is functioning correctly as it should be. Right now, it's just, I'm going to run another test to it and see if I can make it come up here. And for some reason, I got my streamer bot all the way up here. So let me drag it down here. There we go. Okay, now we got it working. Perfect. But for some reason, the overlay is kind of weird. Maybe I shouldn't have updated it. All right, perfect. So we got everything going as it is. I'm Chris Mizo. I talk about PC and tech. We just did a PC build over the weekend, which was the RX 9070 XT. And so far, it's been quite impressive. I'm really excited to share the benchmarks. Some of you were on my stream on Saturday where I was able to show a lot of, I was able to show Monster Hunter's Wilds, and I was also able to show Black Myth Wukong to see what type of performance you can expect from a RX 9070 XT. Of course, we only had time to really test without ray tracing, but again, the numbers looked excellent for what they are. Also, I am running a few tests on other games as well, such as Cyberpunk 2077, Tomb Raider, Hitman. There's quite a big list of different games that I am going to run this PC through. So that way, if you guys are thinking about getting a RX 9070 XT, if you're on the fence of it, this may potentially help you decide if you want to get that GPU. Now, if you don't, you want to get the RTX 50 series, that's great. You can certainly get the RTX 50 series. There should be a lot more coming in within about 3 to 4 weeks. Now, if you are getting a RTX 50 series, you can expect from the 5070 all the way to the 5090. You could expect more of a full supply then. You might see some trickling in. You might see them in different retailers such as Amazon and Newegg. You might see some over in Micro Center. And it seems like they are slowly trickling back as it should be. So we should see more of a full supply. And FanBam guys, I gotta ask you, what do you guys think of the whole Nintendo Switch 2 Direct? It's a bit controversial. I want to share my personal thoughts of it real quick too, because the Nintendo Switch uses a what they call is a Turing architecture, which is practically like an NVIDIA RTX 20 series, but it is modified for Nintendo specifically. Now, if you're asking, for those who aren't familiar with PC talk or what the 20 series is, it's practically a generation just quite before the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, so it's still slightly behind in that sense. Also, what they use with this console is the dock. When you sit the Nintendo Switch 2 into the dock, it is able to output 4K. It's supposed to be 4K 60. Again, this has to do with a lot more of optimizations. If Nintendo optimizes it, that's great. But more of my concern is how much they are charging for the product, which is about $450 for the Nintendo Switch 2. That's actually a bit high, especially that it does not feature a OLED screen. It has a LCD screen. It even features HDR, which is a really nice feature to have. But again, it's not really great in a place such as a Nintendo Switch because you're not going to really take full advantage of it, especially that if you haven't experienced OLED. If you haven't, it is 100% a much better experience when you're gaming on it. It brings out a lot more vibrant colors, especially when you are gaming. So if you don't have a OLED display, certainly give it a shot or try a OLED display just to get an idea to see how it is. Because once you see it, it is really hard to go back into LCD because it almost looks washed out compared to it. But what my concern is with Nintendo Switch 2 is that it's $450 for this device, and then on top of it, you have to pay $80 for games for this Nintendo Switch 2. Now, this is just for the digital games that it could possibly cost up to $90 when it comes to their physical product, which is a bit insane and highly expensive. It's a really hard decision to buy something like that. If you choose to buy it, I perfectly get it. I understand, because there's going to be people out there that are large fans of, say, Pokemon or Mario, whichever franchise that you like from Nintendo, you can certainly get from them. But again, I don't suggest getting it. It's not a great idea in my personal opinion, just because it's going to tell the market that it's okay to charge $80 for games, especially if they do have high sales, and which they are expecting, because this device was highly anticipated. Now, going back into the PC realm, I know I just kind of talked about consoles there a little bit, but I just had to talk about it because I just wanted to say my piece about it, because for those who are questioning about the Nintendo Switch 2, feel free to ask. I can certainly try to help answer and give you some ideas of what to expect out of that console. And I can personally say it would be a lot better to go for something such as a ASUS ROG Ally or something like a Steam Deck. Those two devices would 100% be a lot better to go for. More than likely, you would probably have a lot more fun playing it instead of something like the Nintendo Switch 2. So going back to the PC subject, I have some news for everybody out there. For those who were part of the unboxing about, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we did a big unboxing. We are going to do a few more product unboxings next week. Not sure exactly what they are, but I am expecting about 2 or 3 products that should be coming in. And as soon as they come in, we will go live and do unboxings. If you don't know exactly when I do lives, on Wednesdays, I do lives on 7 p.m. to typically about 9 p.m. So I do them for a couple hours. Saturdays, I will go from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Sometimes I'll go 8 to 10, depending on what everybody prefers. And feel free to say what you think. Make sure you put a 1 if you are okay with the 10 to 12 slot. If you prefer more of the 8 to 10 slot, let me know. Put 2 on all platforms, and I'll make sure to put that into consideration. And again, if you have any questions about any products. Now, for anybody that's just coming in, and for those who are already part of the fan bam, or who haven't really got a chance to really get to see the giveaway that I am currently doing, I am trying to give away a Samsung 990 Pro, and it is a 1 terabyte SSD. It does come with the heatsink, which is really nice. So you can put it inside of a PS5 if you choose to. Make sure you put it with the heatsink inside of a PS5. You need it. Now, if you're putting it inside of a PC, you could remove the heatsink and you could certainly install the NVMe that way, because typically the motherboard heatsinks will fit a lot better. Now, if you're curious exactly where you can join this giveaway, just go to chrismizo.com. That is the link, as in chrismizo.com. Go to the YouTube icon and find the PC build of the 9070 XT. Down there, I will have in the description box on the giveaway. There will be one lucky winner who will get a 990 Pro, and there will also be a few winners who will have a chance to win some merch. Hey, what's up, underscore? Welcome in. Glad to see you. And it still seems that the chat isn't fully cooperating. Let me put this on this side. I apologize if I'm just seeing you here. Right now, I'm trying to get this. I'm also trying to get this chat to work together here. Oh, I see what happened. Just give me a moment, guys. I just gotta go fix a YouTube error. It's sometimes YouTube can be a real pain about this. Now I've been live for about 20 minutes already, and the funny thing is YouTube didn't allow, because they don't allow one platform to go vertical and horizontal, so you have to enable another platform in order to go vertical. So now I am going to enable it. Apparently it was off. I apologize for everybody in the vertical live. Now it is up. Hopefully you got to see it. But as I was saying, with the RX 9070 XT, it's certainly been impressive with the specifications. If you're wondering about the build, it's quite beautiful. It's a RX 9070 XT Sapphire Nitro Plus, which comes with the overclock with a 3.04 gigahertz. It also has a B850 ASUS Tough Gaming Plus motherboard, has Wi-Fi 7, has Bluetooth 5.4, so, and it also has USB-C connections. And on top of it, it does have the ASUS Prime LC360, which is their LCD display for their CPU. It displays the temperatures, the stats. Unfortunately, it's not customizable to where you can adjust different images if you want. But then again, it is for a great deal. You can purchase that for as low as $150, and it's a full 360 AIO. If you're not sure what AIO is, it's a closed loop water system. So you don't have to add water. It's practically maintenance free, and it has its own pump, so you don't have to go through the trouble of actually creating a water cooled system. And moving on to the processor, it is a 9600X. We spent just over $200 for that processor. And for the NVMe, we actually picked it up for a great deal for $62, and we got the Corsair DDR5 RAM for about $92. So for a lot of stuff that was under $100, some things are a little bit over $100, such as the AIO, as I mentioned. You could choose to go cheaper. You could choose to go with a, say, a Noctua fan. You could usually purchase them for the CPU specifically. You could purchase them for about $60 to $80. And also it has, but the biggest part it has, and the more expensive area it has, is the power supply, which is the 80 plus platinum power supply by Seasonic. Really great power supply. It's more about energy efficiency, so we'd rather spend a little bit more money on energy efficiency because you'll see a better response when it comes to your electric bill. Because if you want a cheaper bill, you want to get a platinum power supply. Usually they have 10-year warranties with them, and you'll see better energy savings on top of it, especially if you love the game. And you won't, and they're built with top Japanese capacitors typically when it comes to their power supplies. Now, when it came to the case, we chose the Montech Air 3 because it was on sale. We picked that up at Micro Center. It was only for $75. That's really hard to beat because it came with 3 fans, 3 120 millimeter fans, and it also came with a 140 millimeter fan in the rear side, so we had plenty to exhaust. We didn't have to buy any extra fans. Everything practically came with the case. Now, a question that I had when it came to PC building: where can you find the case? Where can you find the motherboard screws when you build a PC? Typically, you can find them inside the hard drive case. So don't panic if you get your motherboard, you open it up, and you don't see any screws. They typically come with the case that you choose to purchase your PC build, regardless if it's a cheaper case from, say, $50 all the way to $500. Doesn't matter what kind of case you get. They typically will have the case screws inside of the hard drive compartment most of the time, or the SSD compartment as they would call it, and they'll be inside those cages. So again, everybody who is just coming in, I'm Chris Mizo. I like to talk about PC and tech. If you enjoy it, please give this a thumbs up and make sure to let me know you guys are having a great day. If you are, put 1. If you guys are having a terrible day, if you guys don't have your coffee, which I had to get my coffee. And again, I got this from Micro Center. It's a pretty dope cup art. It came free. It was a promotion that they had at Micro Center. It was when they first opened up the Micro Center in Miami. It was only, I think, about a year ago. Well, a little less than a year ago, actually. It opened up in July 2024. So it's still a brand new location, and you definitely got to go. The Micro Center is really nice. Hopefully you were there for the live stream. Unfortunately, I wasn't on TikTok when I streamed this. I had to go onto only one platform, which was on YouTube. I was on YouTube streaming it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I went there twice to check out the Micro Center, and that's actually how we got a lot of the parts. A lot of the parts are actually built by the FanBam. Everybody chose the different parts to go for this PC build, and that's how we went about to do this PC build. We tried to look for the best budget. And we also tried to look for the best components, which would fit best, which I want to show you guys in a little bit. And I just gotta take a sip of coffee. Hopefully you guys have plenty of coffee or water on the other hand by you guys. Also, hopefully you are enjoying this stream so far. I'm really excited because I really can't wait to see what kind of stuff comes in next week, what type of PC components. What are you guys hoping to see? Feel free to say in the chat. Let me know what you guys are feeling. Are you hoping that it is, I don't know, let's say SSD, or do you prefer to see maybe some real low latency RAM? Could be another motherboard, it could be a case, it could be something. Let me know what you hope it is. And again, there may be another giveaway coming up soon. I hope you guys have joined this giveaway. It's a big thank you. What's up, Jeb? I'm glad to see you. Hopefully that is working. You know what sucks, Jeb? If you joined the vertical side, I just realized that the chat for through the chat, I realized it wasn't really functioning properly. But now it seems like it still isn't functioning properly. Let me see. I really shouldn't have updated it. It looks like it's like messed up for some reason. I'll try closing this this one out here. It's funny because typically, you know, when you update something, you hope it goes well, and now it just seems like it's not working as intended. I should have kept it the old way. Let me see. Bring that down, bring that down, bring that down. All right. Let me make sure I get everybody connected here. Select live sources and activate selected. Auto find and activate. Hopefully that's all connected. Oh, there we go. Now it's live. Oh, really? That's wonderful. Okay, let me try that again. I apologize, Jeb. I'm just trying to get you connected so that way we can... Oh, did it? It just died on... Oh, so the stream just died on Twitch. That's wonderful. Okay, gotcha. Think too much of load. I gotta just say, Xfinity completely sucks. Get rid of it. If you could get something better than Xfinity, which will explain in a little bit. I'm going to have to drop. Sorry, X users. If I'm going to drop you guys, if you want to find the stream, I'm going to be on YouTube, TikTok, or on Twitch. So I'm going to stop the X stream. So find me there. Again, people on X, just go either on Twitch, YouTube, or TikTok to find me. And again, it'll be at Chris Mizo. Or if you are going onto TikTok, it'll be Mizo Chris. All right, there we go. Hopefully that lightened up the load. Gotcha. All right, let me see. That should have done it. Sorry, guys. Let me see. Huh. And it looks like social stream Ninja isn't working as good either. So let me just disconnect this. And I'm going to reconnect it. Perfect. Hey underscore, I'll just answer your question in just a second. I apologize. Just trying to get you guys up and running here. Stream issues. Thank you, Comcast. Really, for doing this to me. You guys are really wonderful, let me tell you. All right. Where the heck is it? All right. What's up, Dave? Welcome in. I apologize, just having some technical difficulties, which I'm going to fix momentarily. It shouldn't take long. Yeah, okay. So that looks like it's working. That's okay. Oh, nope. Let me exit out of that. Activate. I'll stop that one. All right. Perfect. All right, guys. So it should be working now. Now let me try to get this overlay back up here, which it's okay. Okay. Sure, I'll answer your question, Dave. Let me just answer underscore real quick because he had a question. His question was, I just bought my first PC. Is a 2060 and the R5 3600, good for a 630. Also, I'm about to enroll in that giveaway for the next one, maybe a case if possible. Sure thing. I'll try to make that happen, a case. Hopefully you're not halfway across the world. They'll be a little bit hard. Cases, they're hard enough as it is to ship within the US because them boxes come in damaged. I was afraid for the RX 9070 XT during that unboxing. You should have seen how that box looked like. It looked like that box looked like it was in the middle of the street and a big freight truck just ran over it and said, "Oh, we dropped the delivery," and threw it back in and delivered it anyway. But luckily, Newegg packed it really well to where it wasn't damaged. So luckily, the GPU was perfectly fine. The box was actually mint, and that outside box, the actual shipped box, that was trash. That was just 100% trash there. What's up, Dave? Let me help you out here. Let me help answer your question. Let me know what you have. I'm trying, hopefully this, I don't know what's up with this new update with social stream. It seems like there's an issue with their chat. So you guys might have difficulty seeing each other, but you guys in YouTube shouldn't have any problems. I don't think, at least. All right, let me go try that again. All right. I'm gonna try this. Hey, Dave. Let's see how it's looking. It's funny, you can see what I'm saying, but it's not showing anyone else. Well, it did show Plano at least. It looks like it showed Plano in the on the chat. And hopefully now it's clear. There's definitely a YouTube issue going on here. Okay, so Dave also asked, did you ever consider doing a 105 TDP change to the 9600X? I have not yet. I have not considered that changed. Have you because that's actually a good question. I have the 9700X and I'm hearing you can change it to 65 watts TDP. I haven't messed with the TDP really yet. I've just been mostly messing with the GPU. But you can certainly, okay, I got you, Plano. Yeah, I figured you were still on YouTube. It's just for some reason the social stream isn't working with YouTube too well. It seems like it won't. It's for some reason nobody's chat is going directly through. Maybe I gotta re-sign in it. I feel like there we go. I'll just try to sign in again. There we go. Hopefully that works. Hopefully you guys are say something. Let's see. I'll close that. Hopefully that works. Okay. Did not try Twitch again. Gotcha. So, but yeah, you can certainly mess with the TDP. Typically, you want to go a little bit under. Now, I don't really mess with, when it comes to the processor, I like to mess with the, now it's slipping my mind what it's called. But usually I'll go and mess with the curve optimization. I'll go into the curve optimization. I'll mess with that. And I also typically try to undervolt it, like with the 9800X 3D. What I've done with that, I got to undervolt it down to -25. I forget what my curve optimization is. It wasn't too bad, but it was -25 and something else I also adjusted. The clock. I also messed with the clock. I think I was able to push it up another 500 megahertz on it. So I was able to get a decent gain on it. With the 9600X, I haven't yet. Again, I just strictly just messed with the GPU just to get an idea of where that's at. But it certainly can help. It could 100% help. You could see benefit seeing a few more frames. Again, for those who are afraid of overclocking, you don't really have to be too afraid. Just take it in increments. Don't take an extreme jump. Now, if you go into manual overclocking, they will let you know that if you do mess with any of the overclocks there, that it could void your warranty. So if you're afraid of voiding your warranty, don't overclock, because they will be able to see it, as in AMD or any other company, NVIDIA, whichever. You can certainly void that warranty because of it. But if you're not afraid of that and you want to try overclocking, certainly try it. I will put out a overclock guide eventually, and I'll probably do it on each component. I'll probably do separate videos in it and try to describe everything about it. Again, sometimes you might not feel like it's 100% worth it for some cases, especially if it's air cooled. You might not see a large frame jump. You might see it could be like 3 to 5 frames. Now, if you change out everything, if you you overclock all your different components, now the RAM's kind of worthless to overclock anymore at this point, but if you overclock the CPU and you overclock the GPU, you can certainly see an uptick for about like 5 to 10 frames, even more in some cases, especially with frame generation. You'll probably see like something with like even as high as like say 13, 15 with frame generation specifically. But if you feel like that's not really worth the jump for you, then you don't really have to mess with the overclock. You can just keep it in the factory settings if that is what you prefer. And I do apologize to everybody out there. Hopefully the chat is working properly. I tried to make sure everything was signed in. So hopefully you guys can see each other, at least when you guys are talking. So I do apologize for that. And opening the vertical live so late, that's the last time I'm going to let OBS try to attempt to open up the YouTube server for the vertical lives. But I'm glad that it is up now. But certainly I am going to go under test some more. I'm currently have a whole spreadsheet of what type of games that I am pushing through this 9070 XT. The top ones on the list are Monster Hunter Wilds, of course, and I also have Black Myth Wukong is also on the top of the list. And I have some of my standard benchmarks, which is like Cyberpunk 2077. I do also have Tomb Raider. I'm also benching it on that as well. Metro Exodus is another big game I bench it on. Final Fantasy 15 is another game I bench it on. There's quite a list I'm going through. And of course, I do test on a 3D Mark. I'm going through Steel Nomad. I'm even doing some of the ray tracing tests when it comes to, I think it's called Speed. I forget what the new one's called, Speedway or Speed. I've run tests on that, and I am running tests on Firestrike as well. So yeah, no problem, Dave. I'm just I'm kind of pissed off right now at Social Stream because unfortunately this you guys can't really see each other on that side. I don't know what's up with it. It's definitely something's up with it, and I got to look into that. But now it's like I want to fix it. And I don't know what the deal is with it. Oh, there we go. So it is working now. Perfect. Took a little bit late. What games do you play these days, Chris? Currently, the viewer, the games that I'm currently playing, I'm playing Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm just getting into that. It's funny because I've been really wanting to play that game. I knew that AMD, when you purchase their processors currently, for anyone that is looking to build a PC, if you purchase a AMD processor, 9000 series, any of the 9000 series, you will get Monster Hunter's Wilds with it. Also, there may be a Steam code that I will be giving away to within the next week, depending on when I get it. It's going to be, I think, on Star Wars Outlaws. I'm gonna give that away because I'm not a big fan of Outlaws. So, and besides, it's like, I think something that I know that I forget which company is giving away, but Outlaws, I will be doing some sort of giveaway. I will be doing it live, so make sure to stay tuned if you're looking for a code for PC. But currently, Monster Hunter Wilds, and I'm also playing. What else am I playing? I've been wanting to play Kingdom Come 2. I've heard great things about it. It's a game that's been highly recommended. So that's another game that's on my list there. I've been playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. That's also a great game. It's a great throwback game. And but that's what I've been playing so far. And if you have any game recommendations, let me know. And I'll definitely check it out for sure. But what I'm really excited about is that finally we are getting some GPUs in stock, and I want to let all of you know that it is coming very soon. You should see a lot more stock coming in. You might be, if you're following any of the GPU updates, you should be starting to see a little bit more notifications each day. It should be getting more common, especially from the 5070 all the way to the 5090. 5070 is starting to become a little bit more readily available, just barely, but just keep your eye on it, especially in places like Micro Center. You can certainly get your hands on it. Just keep your eyes on it each day. And there's going to be, of course, a lot of people out there just trying to get it and trying to sell it on eBay. And if you notice too, a lot of the eBay prices are starting to drop down. I'm looking forward to playing a Doom Dark Ages later. I'm a big Doom fan too, actually. And I certainly do want to play the Doom. It's been a while since I got to play the Doom series, and I love it, especially because I remember the feeling when Doom 3 came back out, and that was an amazing game because it was a big changeover from what it was from playing the original one, which was on like Windows, what was it, Windows 93, I think. And that was like one of the type first games that I played as a kid was Doom, and it was addicting. I just couldn't get my hands off of it, but I do like Doom. So I will definitely make sure to add that on my list, and I certainly am excited for Doom to be releasing sometimes. Is Doom Dark Ages, is that the newer one that they are releasing? Because I'm trying to remember, because now I'm kind of behind on the Doom series myself, because I'm kind of actually lost, to admittedly. So let me know, because I gotta check it out for sure. Also, again, with this upcoming week, I'm really not this upcoming week, but within the next week, we should be getting a lot more product. I am really excited to share with everybody out there what it could be. Yeah, so it's soonish. I thought that was it too, because I thought it was called Dark Ages because it looked very interesting, especially how it's the time setting is going to be for that game. If you guys haven't checked it out, you got to see it. It looks amazing. I was watching it when they were announcing it, and it looks great. And but I am excited that more products are coming in next week. And I'm sorry, let me fix this over here on this side too. There we go. There was some new gameplay of it recently, 4K on YouTube. Oh, that's amazing. I'll definitely gotta check. I'll probably end up binge watching it. Do you think Doom will actually come out on Nintendo Switch too? That would be pretty crazy. But it would be like $80, like $80 or $90, which is insane. But within next week, I should be getting more product coming in soon, which I'm really excited about. And it should be about 2 or 3 different products coming in. When it does come in, I'm going to wait to make sure to open it live for you guys. Did I hear the old Windows logon sound? Oh, did you? But it could be my desktop PC enabled. No, it's not. But it certainly feels like it. And I definitely do miss it. But there is some awesome like mods out there, especially when it comes to Windows 11 right now. Like there's this one where you could just debloat it. It's really simple. You just have to run the command, and which I can share for you guys too if you're interested in it. And it removes all the bloatware such as Copilot. It removes Teams, and it removes OneDrive, all the useless stuff you don't really touch. The advertisements, it gets rid of everything. All that junk that you don't want, it will get rid of it. And you could even convert it back to the Windows 7 style look, Windows 10 style look, if that's what you prefer. So that is a awesome mod that's out there, and it's really simple. It's like a 5-minute task to really do. And you can even customize it if you choose to. If you like some of the Microsoft programs such as Microsoft Teams and you want to keep it, you can select whether to keep it or not. It's something to definitely take a look at, and it certainly can improve gameplay, because it almost seems like every time now Windows does an update, it somehow kind of messes up everything. I don't know why it does that. It's kind of annoying. It's funny though, because Windows just the other week, they got rid of Copilot, which was a great thing, but Windows realized that mistake and fixed it almost immediately, sending Copilot to Windows PCs everywhere. But what is exciting too is as I was saying, with all the packages coming in, we're going to decide, we'll vote on it to see exactly what we will do with the product. And for all those who are just joining in, I'm Chris Mizo. I love to talk about PC and tech. We just built a RX 9070 XT. If you haven't checked out the build, it's a really awesome build. It's on my YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out. There's also a giveaway link for those who are just coming in as well, and who are part of the fan bam who didn't get a chance to join the giveaway. Make sure you do. I would really appreciate it. And it's to thank you guys for being part of this big, wonderful fan bam. Please join the Discord too. It seems that has been growing quite rapidly, which is awesome. But it would be nice to have, it would be nice to hear people talking there now. Because not as much people talking there just quite yet. But we're up to 46 members, I think. So definitely join it. It's growing, and make sure you show off your PC builds. I love seeing everybody's PC's builds. I remember Dave's build. He also has a RX 9070 XT. He told me about his overclock, and he's actually, if I remember correctly, Dave, you're also playing on a large 40-inch display as well, and he's loving it. He's loving every bit of it. So definitely take advantage of a RX 9070 XT. Don't be afraid of AMD GPUs. They are certainly great for what they are. And I definitely got to show you guys like how it looks like right now. It's asleep, but I can certainly show you guys in a little bit. I just got to get like a longer USB-C cord from the PC to the camera, so that way I can have a little bit more flexibility to show you how this PC looks. But it is certainly a awesome build, and hopefully you guys are excited about building PCs as much as anyone else is. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask. I will certainly ask them. Or if you just have a random question, feel free to ask. But make sure you have your water and coffee close to you by the side, and just like how I had to have a coffee. And for those who are wondering, I've been up since like 3:30 in the morning on the east side. Right now here on the east side it's about 7:50, so it's been quite the day. And it's crazy too, because I've been trying to go on this cut recently, and I've been really focused, but I've been taking creatine too on the side of it, and it seems that the creatine, it's kind of discouraging me a little bit, because every time I take my creatine and I weigh myself at the end of the week like I'm supposed to, it seems like I'm gaining weight. But really, it's just, I realize it's just really water weight, but I'll find out at the end of, this will be my 3rd week on the cut. So hopefully then I would see quite the difference. But going back into the PC side, I do have to mention to you guys something for everybody out there who does have a RTX 30 series, RTX 40 series, anything that's under the RTX 50 series. I thought this was originally a April Fool's prank, but when you really think about it, it really wasn't, because the fact that this was an actual issue, it's a driver issue that NVIDIA has been pushing out. If you do have anything that's under a 50 series, make sure to roll back your driver. That is back of December of 2024. It's not a joke. It's pretty serious. You really have to roll back the driver then, because they figured out, unfortunately, with the current drivers that they have for the NVIDIA cards, there was some sort of mix up in code. I can't quite remember which code it was, but they actually mixed up the code to where it was causing the blacked out screens. So that explains, for those who were updating their NVIDIA GPUs, wondering why the screen blacked out, that is one of the reasons. There is a problem with the code with the updates. So hopefully they'll fix it sometime soon, and they'll push everybody more up to date. But make sure to downgrade your firmware. Downgrade your driver back to December of 2024 if you have anything that's under a 50 series. Otherwise, you could run into weird issues as blacking out. So if you are experiencing it, that is the reason why. So certainly do that. Also, for those who have ASRock motherboards that are AM5, I would get rid of them. Or if you are planning to build with the ASRock motherboard, make sure to try to get another one, because what they're saying is if you have one and you have a AM5 board, that you have to clean it. So I wouldn't suggest cleaning out those pins, because you're gonna bend them. Do not clean them out. Do not try to blow into the pins, because you don't want any saliva or anything getting onto the pins, because again, they're super sensitive, and that's something not to really mess around with. Especially those pins. There's over, I think it's 1,817 pins there. So when you open up that lid to install that CPU, that's how many pins that there are. So it's going to be very easy to bend any of them. So if you do have a ASRock motherboard, I wouldn't take their advice to clean their socket. That's completely unnecessary. Do not try to go grab a toothbrush. It's just a terrible idea. It just won't come out good, and more than likely you'll have to send your motherboard in, because I don't know if this is what they want, but you send the motherboard in, and then you're going to have your socket replaced, which is going to cost you money. It's not going to be free to replace it. It's going to cost you maybe about $150 or maybe $200 for you to replace that socket, just because you tried to clean for the AM5 processor. So you do not have to do this. Also, I gotta say, I am excited and looking forward to sharing the benchmarks with the RX 9070 XT. I'm really excited to share about what Steel Nomad's numbers, what I've seen. If I don't think Dave was here earlier, because this is something I really wanted to share with everybody too, is that I've noticed with the overclocking, it's really good on the RX 9070 XTs. There is quite a bit of flexibility in it, and it's really easy to optimize. Now with AMD's, some people might prefer different, but with AMD's GPUs, I think it's better to optimize it with AMD's Adrenalin software, because you also have the options of turning on, such as AFMF. You could always turn that on and off. You'll have those capabilities. If you overclock with other software, possibly like with EVGA Precision, if you have a problem with that, excuse me guys, just gotta fix that. For some reason that the live was giving me the TikTok live gave me the puzzle for some reason. Matter of fact, I should probably plug in the mic for the TikTok live just to make sure that we have a clear connection here. But as I was saying with the 9070 XT, it's preferably better to overclock it in a place like on AMD's Adrenalin, because AMD's Adrenalin will give you those capabilities. There is software conflicts if you go to EVGA Precision or if you go to another tuner tool when it comes to messing with AMD's GPUs overclock. So you can take advantage of it. You certainly can, but again, the issue is if you do use it, if you do use any other software, it's going to conflict with AMD Adrenalin, and more than likely you won't really like the result of it. If you're wondering what I use for the overlay to watch the temperatures, which the temperatures have been really impressive, which I can't wait to share again in the upcoming video of how it looks like. But the temperatures are certainly excellent, and also when it comes to the overlay, I personally like to use Rivera Tuner and a mix with hardware info. Those two together make excellent overlays. You can customize it to how you look. Again, I can make a video on it to show you guys how to do it. It's very simple. Once you do it, it's the only overlay you're going to really want to do, especially because it's going to customize exactly the way you want it to. And for this upcoming week also, hopefully I'm trying to produce this video by Saturday. If I don't, I will be producing a little bit more news on it. But how's everybody out there? You got to give me your thoughts about the Nintendo Switch 2. Let me know what your thoughts are. Feel free to let me know in the chat. And you can either, if you want to know more about the Switch 2, and you want to know the specifications of it, put 1. If you don't really care for the Switch 2, put 2. Let me know what you guys think of it, because I want to know what your personal thoughts of how the Switch 2 is, or if you really care, let me know. I think it's a bit ridiculous that they're charging about $80 for a Switch game. That's quite insane, especially that both devices, both the Switch 2 and the original Switch, the OG Switch, they're not really that far apart. Sure, you get a little bit more power of the Switch 2, but you still have a 10. I think the original Switch has a 720 display compared to a 1080p display, so it's a quite a little increase. So let me know what you guys think. Hang on, guys. Let me see what's going on here. Let me just move this out the way, and I have no idea why it's doing that, why I get 2 of them. Apologize. There we go. Perfect. And when it comes to, I had to cancel my other stream earlier with X because it seems like there was some sort of delay. Hopefully it's working properly. Now it seems like it's pushing out okay. Yeah, it is. All right, perfect. But it's been a crazy night so far. Hopefully you guys are having a great day so far, or a great evening. It's been a bit crazy. We're starting to finally get some decent, well, it's starting to get a little humid in South Florida, I gotta say. For those who are in South Florida know exactly what I mean. It's definitely getting a little bit more humid. We're starting to see rain. We're almost out the dry season practically. I think after this week we're pretty much out of it for sure. It's going to rain a lot more often. Hopefully it doesn't rain on the PC components when they're coming in for sure. For those who are just coming in, I'm Chris Bezo. I love to talk about PC and tech. We just did this build with the RX 9070 XT, which all of us are excited for. Everyone pitched in. The whole fan band who was part of the stream was part of it. We all went to Micro Center together to really gather a lot of the parts. Some of the parts we were given, thankfully, by ASUS. ASUS was nice enough to be able to give us a motherboard for the build, and they also gave us the AIO cooler, which contributed to also the build. Everything else we had to purchase ourselves in order to get the rest of the build done, and we honestly didn't do a bad job of it. It wasn't really that expensive of a build, but the good thing is it's even cheaper than purchasing a RTX 5090, so you certainly don't have to get an RTX 5090 for top-notch performance. And let me see something here. Find it something a little bit odd here. Okay. How's it going? Oh. Now, what I was just checking too is just making sure that the YouTube stream's okay. It's kind of acting crazy today. I'm getting like 4 different chats for some reason. It's insane. If I show it to you, it looks crazy on my screen. So it's very, very odd looking anyway. So with the products that we're supposed to be getting into upcoming soon, which I'm going to be excited about, but going back to the PC part about everything that we chose for the build, we built some excellent pieces. Everybody chose to pick out the RAM, the SSD, the CPU, and there was even one special occasion with one of the streams where we decided to go to Micro Center and decided to pick out the PSU because we wanted to pick out something that would really fit this PC, and it was debatable because you could either get a cheaper PSU. Again, we sold one for really cheap, $105. Corsair one, it's excellent. So it was I think 850 watts, and again it was only $105, but it's ATX 3, and it was a gold supply. I think it was on sale, and it was I think they were trying to offload their old ATX 3s instead of selling their ATX 3.1s. So we're trying to offload that, but nobody really wanted to go for Corsairs because everybody was looking for more efficiency. So that's why we picked out Seasonic's PX1000, and it is a 80 plus platinum power supply. Even up to, once it hits about 90%, or like up to 90%, it gets about 95% efficiency. So you're getting a ton of efficiency in this PC if you're not really putting a big load on it. Once it hits about that 100% range, that is when it drops down. It drops all the way down to, not drops down all the way down, but it drops down to 95% efficiency. So even though you're using it as the build, so it looks like Angel says, thoughts on the Radeon RX 7900 XT and a Ryzen 7 9800 X3D combo as a first-time PC build. That's an excellent choice actually. If did you already purchase it, Angel? Did you already go for the Radeon RX 7900 XT? If you did, that's not a bad choice. It also, the good thing is when you do purchase, anybody out there who is purchasing a Radeon 7000 series, those cards, it does come with Monster Hunter's Wilds with them too. So not just the CPU. You'll probably actually get 2 codes, Angel. So you might get one for the processor, and you might get one for the... You should get one for the processor, and you should definitely get one for the 7900 XT if you decide to go with that build. But personally, it is a great build. You could go 7900 XT. Personally, to me, I would say if you had to pick it out, I would say 9070 XT would probably be the way to go. And I know it's going to take a little bit more patience in order for you to get it. And I know it's certainly hard to get a 9070 XT right now, but if you want to be patient, now I should kick this person right here, the fake block user. There we go. That's annoying as heck. But anyway, you can certainly wait for the 9070 XT. You'll definitely get much more. You'll definitely get much more of a gain out of it. Now the 7900 XT isn't bad, but again, it's going to be, it won't be able to compete with the 9070. It's just the 9070 is just better. It's just going to be better. It's a lot closer match to like a 5070 Ti and to a 5080. So the 7900 XT is good, but it won't reach to that realm. And I believe the 7900 XT is a little bit more expensive. Let me just double check it here. I'll check it right here for you guys just to make sure. And let's see, 7900 XT. Yeah. So if you go 7900 XT, it's a little bit more expensive. You do get a little bit more of VRAM, it seems too. So, but I would still go for the 9070 XT because you could get it for not only you could get it cheaper, and you can get better performance too. You're only getting about 4 extra gigabytes of RAM, so it's not going to be that large of a difference. It would be nice to have it, but I feel that you would take advantage of the FSR3, and you can take advantage of the new frame generation for sure, Angel. I would say go for it. I would say go for a 9070 XT first. If you really need a GPU now and you have to get it, go for the 9070. Go for the 7900 then if you really need one. So 9070 XT first, and then the 7900. I would say 7900 XT. But that's my thoughts of that build. So hopefully we might get a case in coming up next week. For those who are just joining in, I do unboxings live as well. It's supposed to be 3 different components that are coming in, and I'm really excited to share that with you guys out there. And once they do come in, I'll do it within either Saturday or Wednesday, depending on when it is. It's funny. So I keep getting all these like violations detected. I don't know why. On TikTok about and live now to avoid. So he says, Angel says, unfortunately, I got both already. I wish I could have known about the 9070 XT so I could get that. Hey, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the 7900 XT. It's still an excellent card. The good thing about the 7900 XT, you don't have to worry about upgrading the port. Not all the 9070s XT have the PCI Express port in them. Some of them, like the Sapphire, you would have to change it out or use a harness. Something like this. Let's see. Something like this, which is these 12-volt high power ports with the newer cards. So in a way, it's kind of good that you don't have to worry about this. Usually they have converters for them if you have a older power supply. And but if you already have it, you can take advantage of it. Just use the 7900 XT then. If you have more time and you're able to send it back and get a 9070 XT, you could certainly do it. But I would say just go for it anyway, because you still would have to wait 3 to 4 weeks anyway for like more of a better supply to come in for the RX 9070s or the 9070 XTs to come in. The 50s series is the same way. You can expect a lot more coming in through that as well. I don't know why I'm getting all these weird notifications and these warnings. They are just baby reap. Let me just. It's funny too, because it's like it's good that you guys don't see that side of it. But so possibly there could be a case coming in, possibly RAM, possibly SSD. It could be possibly a hopefully it would be wild if it'd be a GPU, but again, we'll see. We'll see, and we will be very excited for that. And but for this upcoming for this PC build, at least, I'm very excited to share the benchmarks with it. And you'll be pretty impressed on how well AMD has come along, especially when it comes to their ray tracing. It's a large improvement. Path tracing, it's still it's still a little bit behind for sure. And testing it through places like Cyberpunk and a few other games, when testing path tracing, you can certainly see that there is quite the slowdown if you do use it. If you like to use ray tracing, it's definitely improved a whole lot. But don't expect using the top-notch ray tracing, and but it can certainly improve. I could see AMD coming with a stronger card sometime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up deciding to go with a 9080 eventually. And hopefully you guys all saw that April Fool's joke about the whole 9080 XTX being released, where it has 32 gigabytes. It'd be pretty insane. It would be amazing if AMD decided to bring that into the game. But if they do, it wouldn't be this year, I think. I don't think AMD even expected to sell their cards that well, ironically. I think AMD just thought that they weren't going to do that great. So when they were, I think this was almost like their time to bow out, because they kind of bailed out on us in January at CS 2025. During that time, during that meeting, or that the press conference that they kind of threw everybody into a loop, because everybody expected the new graphics cards to be released then. We all expected 9000 series cards to be released. The slides were even released for the AMD cards, but they didn't, and they didn't show anything, which is hilarious. But then now, what's even more hilarious, 2 months later, after the 50 series crap show, practically, after showing how terrible the performance could be and how there was a lot of faulty cards out there with the 50 series. Hey, what's up, Leland? Welcome in. You missed quite the debacle that happened earlier. I got like chats all over the place. It's pretty crazy. Set up right now. But right now, with AMD, they certainly the 9070 XT is really amazing. I'm trying to tell everybody out there, don't be afraid to try. Don't be stuck on the NVIDIA. Don't be stuck with the 50 series, or you feel like you need an NVIDIA card. It's 100% not necessary. It's nice to have. It certainly is. But it's become sort of like the Apple of the industry, meaning that everybody wants to have a RTX 50 series now, but they feel like they need it, but it's not necessary to have it. And matter of fact, I'll turn on the PC. I'll show you guys how this build looks like. It's quite beautiful. Take a look at this. Let's turn it on. You guys can take a view. Tell me what you guys think of it. And it was an excellent build, especially for how much we spent on it. Yeah, it's way less than getting a RTX 5090. Some RTX 5090s reach as high as $3,500, which could 100% build you nearly two PCs, I gotta say. You could nearly build two PCs with one 5090, and that's no joke. And let's take a look at the PC here. I'm gonna flip this around, guys. Let's see if it will be forgiving enough. Oh, hang on, guys. What I have to do is adjust this. Maybe it's better if I just move the light out the way. This studio is just cluttered. It's just a cluttered mess, but you can actually see it like that, right? And let me just flip this down here. Right there. Let me take off this casing in the side so you can see it a little bit better. Hopefully you guys can see it as well. Apologize for that, guys. Just got to bring my mic a little closer. You might hear a little thumping sounds. But, so the viewer says he's been unhappy with NVIDIA since about 2020. I don't blame you, especially with everything that's happened with the 40 series. Seemed like that was the beginning of NVIDIA's spiral down. I'm just taking off this side so you can see it a little bit better. I got this plastic casing, or this plastic vinyl sticker on the side, and never just leave these glass cases just laying anywhere or standing up. They tend to break. And funny enough, if you guys are worried about replacing this glass. That, funny enough, they actually sell replacements for it. They do have replacement glass for it. At Micro Center, I know they specifically have Lian Li replacement ones. I don't know if they have glass replacements for all of them, but if you do take off the glass panel, make sure to lay it at least flat on the ground somewhere safe. Luckily, I got a good spot to put it. There we go. Now it's safe. And take a look at this right here. And let's see if I could get this wire straightened out, this wire situation. That's, yeah, I really did a great job on your PC, right, Leland? Let's take a look at it. That's how it looks up close. That's the Sapphire RX 9070 XT. Let me just pull the mic just a slight closer so you guys can hear me here. Perfect. But yeah, that's the Sapphire RX 9070 XT. Really nice. And you see how hidden the connections are? That's what makes it really sick. And then right there, you actually have the CPU cooler. Oh, let me bend it down on the TikTok for you guys over here. And you see that's the ASUS Prime LC360. It reads out the temperatures. It lets you know the usage. So right now it's about 48 degrees. And if you're wondering why the CPU is just a little bit warmer, it's because this room is hot. I got like 3 PCs running. If you see the room, I'll show you. I got one right here, which is the one I'm streaming off of, right? And then I got the one right down there. And, oh yeah, you guys haven't got to really see the start of the logo, which is Jonah. He's laying down here. He got his, you see him right there on the floor? He just likes to lay next to the PC to sleep next to it. But it's kind of dark down there, so you probably can't really see him too clearly. But it came with all these extra fans here, the Montech fans. Right here on the side. And it came with this 140mm fan, Corsair DDR5 RAM, LC360, and the tough gaming motherboard. And everything just fit perfectly nice. What I really like about Seasonic's Power Supply, they give you really decent wires. They actually give you really decent wire harnesses compared to a lot of other ones there. They're way more flexible than most. And you could hear how quiet it is. This PC is really quiet. And that's what's been really impressive when it comes to AMD's GPUs. Because I'm sure if you guys experienced it before, which is like coil whine, which could be pretty annoying. And typically a lot of bigger companies, such as I think MSI was a big one, where I've heard coil whine before, and it could get quite annoying, especially if you're in the middle of a gaming session. All right, so let me go back here. Go back over to the seat here. Well, let me get the light display. You guys can't see me. Do I got it at the right angle? Right there. And perfect. How's that? So the benchmark numbers are really good very excited to share those. Wrote them all on a spreadsheet for everybody who is curious about them. I will certainly try to produce it out. I will try to push out the video of all the benchmarks of this PC build for this Saturday. So hopefully it comes out. I will keep you guys up to date for it. Your PC is so loud. Yeah, I bet it is. It's what's the specs on your PC again? I remember, I think you said you still had it was an AM4 motherboard, right? Which is and you have an NVIDIA card actually too. But it's an older one. I think it's like a 30 series, 20 series or 30 series, I think it was. But yeah, it's gonna get loud over time. And what I highly recommend too is if you do have a PC, make sure to dust it out every once in a while too, because the problem is if you have a lot of buildup too, it's going to make the fans work a lot harder. Oh, the 3600. Wow. Yeah, so you're on, yeah, that's AM4. The original AM4, 3600. So yeah, you're a little bit back there too. So definitely a good time for you to upgrade for sure, Leland. So for this upcoming week, we are very excited about this products that we should be expecting this not upcoming week, but the next week. We should be getting about 3 boxes at least, or 3 products. So when those come in, we will do an unboxing for it, and we will do it. And again, my lives are on Wednesdays between 7 to 9, and hopefully my chat doesn't go crazy like it was earlier. I don't know what's up with social streams update, but hopefully it doesn't go crazy. Anyway, I usually go Wednesdays 7 to 9, and on Saturdays I go from either 10 to 12 typically, or I go 8 to 10 depending on it. But more than likely this weekend, this Saturday, I will be going 10 to 12. Expect it. And for those who are all just joining in, I'm Chris Mizo. I talk about PC and tech. We're just talking about the 9070 XT build that just happened over this past weekend. Hopefully you got to see it. It's very exciting, especially for the cost of it. It was under just a little bit over $1,800 for it. And the best part is it was all under the price of a RTX 5090. You don't need a RTX 5090 to have premium gaming. You can certainly pull great frames on a RX 9070 XT. In fact, out of Monster Hunter's Wilds with frame generation, we were able to pull up as high as 170 frames. I think even a little bit more if I really look at the spreadsheet. But I don't want to spoil all the different numbers that we pulled out of this machine so far. We've tried some overclocking on it, and you can certainly get some great numbers on it. AMD is quite the beast when it comes to it. You'd be surprised about how strong the base clock and the boost clock is. The memory clock is also excellent in this GPU. And the best part, it's quiet. It's really quiet. It's not noisy at all. And I gotta say, there's no coil whine, which is nice. Also, with these benchmarks, after overclocking it, you can see quite the difference in some frames, and you can certainly see the difference in ray tracing over the prior generation, and it's quite improved. The same thing when it comes to pad tracing. It's better, but it's not to the point where you're gonna really want to play in pad tracing. To be honest, pad tracing is a little bit on the rougher side, so unfortunately it's rough on that end. But when it comes to ray tracing and when it comes to its frame generation, it's quite excellent. Cyberpunk's numbers, I can't wait to share with you guys soon with that. Oh, I bet Leland. It's going to be very excellent on that. And also, when it came to the 3D Mark test, the stability test. I almost got it to the point where it's 100% stable. And all I have to do is run the test again. I just have to keep running it. It's like at a 96.9% pass right now. So I just got to adjust it just a slight in order for the overclock to be just right. For the GPU overclock, at least, I haven't messed with the CPU just yet. The CPU in this is the 9600X. So I haven't touched that, but it does have PBO enabled, and we do have Expo 1 enabled. So, but again, it's been impressive. If we could just get it to right at that 97 mark where it should be, then it should be pretty much good to go for overclock benchmark test. Once I have those numbers, then I will be able to create the video for you guys and be able to push it out for this upcoming Saturday, which I'm hoping for. Typically, I publish the videos on YouTube at 8 a.m. So unfortunately, for anybody that was on the X stream, I had to cut out the X stream because unfortunately with Comcast, they are a bit problematic when it comes to multiple streams. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I apologize for those on the X platform. Hopefully you are on YouTube, Twitch, or on TikTok to enjoy the stream. If you are enjoying the stream, remember to give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you follow or you subscribe to the channel for more, because I do plan to do more giveaways. Make sure to be part of it, because I do want to thank everybody for being part of this wonderful fan base. So to run back with everything here, now I am within the next week when I do these streams. Hopefully I will get those packages in time for it. I will be doing a unboxing on those days. Maybe I'll do a surprise day. Maybe I'll just randomly stream on a Monday or Tuesday. If I do, I will try to announce it as early as possible. But again, my scheduled streams are between Wednesday and Saturday. Those 2 days. And I also have long format videos I usually do on YouTube every week. And I do my shorts and I do my TikTok videos as well. Hopefully you enjoy those as part of the platform. Make sure to have plenty of hydration with you if you are enjoying the stream, because we have plenty to talk about. If you have any questions about a PC build, feel free to ask. I will try to help guide you to figure out what an issue is, or if you have a problem with your PC, you're trying to pull more frames, I can certainly try to help you with that as well. Now, a lot of games, and again, this is disappointing. What I'm afraid of is that we might end up in another era where we will see an uptick in pricing when it comes to gaming, especially after the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement. It seems like that GTA 6, that whole announcement when they said that it's going to be $100 doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore, especially for what Nintendo is charging for their digital games. It's $80 for their physical disc, not physical disc, but their physical cartridges. They are going to charge up to $90 for them, which is a bit ridiculous. So it's going to be expensive. It's almost $100 right there. So I don't really find it hard to believe how far apart $100 is from $90. So it can certainly happen for sure. And for those who are looking forward to GTA 6 release, expect to pay a premium on it. Unfortunately, it seems like we are headed in that direction, especially if Nintendo Switch 2 does really hit it off for some reason. I feel like it's a bit disappointing, especially for Nintendo. Usually I usually get all their hardware. I feel their hardware is really excellent. They're really innovative, but when it came to the Switch 2, it wasn't as great as all their other products, because at least they come out with something new. Now, the only biggest new thing about the Switch 2 is that you could use the Joy-Cons as a mouse, and they're also magnetic. Now, it's $450. It's on an LCD screen, but it doesn't have OLED, which is a really weird issue. They don't really give the full specifications of the device, or maybe they leaked it out somewhere. I had to look a little bit deeper, but I don't see it being stronger than, say, a ASUS ROG Ally, even, or even stronger than a Steam Deck. So you're paying a lot more for a product that actually has like 5-year-old hardware in it, because it's a 20 series, it's practically a 20 series chipset inside of a Nintendo Switch 2. So yes, they got some great games that are coming out for it, and hopefully they are well optimized. But again, you gotta hope they're well optimized, especially if you're paying $80 to $90 for a game, which is ridiculous. Let me know what your thoughts are about it. Let me know what you think about Nintendo Switch's decision of charging $450, which is pretty insane, or their decision to charge $80 to $90 for a game. Let me know what you think. It's a bit insane. Also, moving on to the topic, we are expecting more products to be coming in within the next week. Hopefully we get some decent stuff. I'm expecting 3 different items. Not sure exactly what they will be, but they're supposed to be here next week. As soon as they are, we will go live from Wednesday, either from Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, or we will go Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes I will go 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. So depending on the time and when we get these packages, I will certainly unbox it and see what exactly is in it. It might be something that can possibly go up for the next giveaway. We will stay tuned for that. Again, I like to see a vote on it, get a good consensus of where everybody is at when it comes to either a giveaway, or if we are going to continue another build, depending on what it could be. So it's going to be quite interesting of what will come out of it, or what type of product will come out. So if you were thinking about going RX 9070 XT, again, it's quite impressive, especially if you're coming from NVIDIA. And I know a lot of people were disappointed with NVIDIA. Just as the viewer mentioned, he's been disappointed in NVIDIA since the 40 series practically. And it's been a shame, because it almost seems like the consistency with NVIDIA isn't as strong as they used to be. Now their product's getting a lot more expensive, but we're not really getting the right value back out of it. And it's insane that you can spend up to $3,400 on a GPU where you don't even have PhysX, or you don't even have DirectX 9, which is insane. Now the drivers are having issues to where it's affecting the 40 series cards and under. So if you have anything that's under a 50 series practically, you have to make sure to downgrade to December's of 2024's drivers. So if you've been updating your driver and you notice a blacked out screen when you're updating, it's because there is a problem with the drivers, because they're specifically meant to optimize more of the 50 series than the 40 and 30 series. Almost sounds like a case of what Apple did with the updates. Similar to when you go up to another iOS, then it will affect the battery life, or it will affect performance. Unfortunately, it seems NVIDIA is kind of pulling the same thing, and now they're telling everybody, if you're having an issue, just downgrade your driver back to December 2024 if it is not a 50 series. Also, what is really also interesting to me too is, do not take the advice of ASRock of what they said. That yes, they looked into the board. They looked into it having issues. They're saying that people are installing processors on dirty sockets. Makes absolutely no sense. In all the years of PC building, and I'm sure everyone else who's built to PC knows not to touch the socket. There's a good reason why there's a plastic cover on top of it, especially on AM5. AM4 is a little bit different because it's reverse, but in AM5, it's similar to just like how Intel was mostly, or always is. You do not want to try to brush anything out. Do not use a toothbrush to try to clean out the pins. It's a very bad idea. There's 1,817 pins inside of that socket. Do not try to brush it clean. It's supposed to be clean, and it should not be filled with dust or anything, as they say. It should be quality control should really take care of that side of it. Now, if you do get a motherboard, just do not try to clean it. Do not try to blow out the sockets, because you could get saliva in there. And then again, you can cause a problem if you install the processor, which is something you don't want to do. So just make sure to install it as normal, which is just simply just install the processor. Don't try to dust it out. It's a very bad idea. I highly suggest not to do it. If you have an ASRock motherboard that you currently have or plan to build with, please think about it. If you have an AM5 board, and switch to say to ASUS, which it's been great currently with their motherboards, or also make sure you switch to ASUS. Gigabyte, they're excellent. MSI has been great. Unfortunately, I don't know what ASRock is doing. I don't know what the scientists are smoking, I gotta say, because it's a bit insane for them to suggest to clean out pins. 100% a bad idea. Don't listen to it. Do not get a toothbrush and rub it out or clean it out, because now you're going to cause some damage to the motherboard, and they're going to blame you for damaging the board because you tried to clean it, even though they said clean out the pins. So don't do it. Don't try to clean them out. It's a bad idea. You will have a very high chance of bending a few pins. Again, there's 1,817 pins on an AM5 motherboard. So it's going to be very easy to bend any of them. So don't do it. And also, with the latest news too, with the 50 series or with the RX 90s, 70s, if you are trying to get a new GPU, they certainly will have them. Hopefully you've been following it. The viewer also says, can turn them down if got lots of fans and big heatsink. Can turn them down if got lots of fans and big heatsink radiator. I'm sorry, viewer. I can't pick up what you mean. Can turn them down if got lots of fans. You mean flipping out the flipping? I might got lost of where we're at right there with that one. If you could explain it again, I will happily go over it real quick. But the viewer just said, can turn them down if got lots of fans and big heatsink. Unfortunately, on TikTok, you can't. I can't share the chat on there. Again, for everyone that's just tuning in, who is just coming in on TikTok, make sure to follow, make sure to like the live. Hopefully you're enjoying it. We're talking about PC and tech. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. Oh. I see. Oh, is he? For some reason, I didn't see the other side of it. Hang on, guys. I know what screwed me up. Oh. That's weird. I guess it skipped out some of the, again, the chat's acting up. So Leland said that, oh no, the viewer asked him if the fans are spinning a watt. And he said, yep. Then the viewer said, can you turn them down if lots of fans? And yeah, that's true. Yeah, and see, the good thing about our community is everyone is willing to help each other out. So make sure to join our Discord. Feel free to show your battle rig. I'd love to see it. Go into the Discord channel, and it will certainly you will get a lot of answers. I typically try to go in there and try to help everybody out who is having issues with their PCs. Just like earlier this week, we had a question about that they had a boot loop. If you're not familiar with a boot loop is, a boot loop is when you turn on your PC and it's unable to continue to Windows, and then it kind of reboots right back into the BIOS. Typically, if you run into that case, if you run into a boot loop issue, most of the time it's that it's a hard drive issue or a SSD issue. Typically, that's most of the time the case. It's not being detected like it should. That usually fixes the issue. It just doesn't recognize it. It could be a loose connection if you're using a SATA connection to an SSD or a hard drive, or if it's an NVMe, it could be improperly uninstalled. If it's improperly installed, then just reseat it. More than likely, you'll be okay. Because sometimes it's really easy not to be able to sit them in. If they don't sit in properly, then it can just stick out slightly, and to the point to where it's just barely reading the card. So just make sure to slide it in fully. NVMe such as this, which is in the giveaway. If you haven't joined, I hope you guys do. This is something that I want to thank the FanBam with. I believe it's ending sometime this week. I think it was the 4th or the 5th. I have to double check it. But as soon as the giveaway does close, I will announce it on live, whether it's on this Saturday or it will be this whether it's Saturday or if it's going to be on Wednesday. I will let you guys know. I will give you guys a post to keep you guys updated. And again, if you haven't joined the giveaway, it's going to be on my website. Go to chrismizo.com, and it's M-I-Z-O, chrismizo.com. Go to the YouTube link and look up the 9070 XT build. I have the giveaway link in that YouTube video in the description box. Make sure you join. And if you join, then you have a high chance, or hopefully you have a high chance of getting a 990 SSD with the heatsink. You can install this into a PS5, or you can install it inside of a PC. And the best part is, even if you don't win it, if you don't win the SSD, I will be giving out some merch as well. So make sure to join. It's a big thank you for everyone being part of FanBam. Make sure to follow and to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up or give it hearts or whatever you would like to give it. So Leland, this says, I am new to PC, so Chris is my IT guy. Yeah, luckily, Leland knows me personally. Yeah, I actually knew Leland a while ago. But anyway, for those who are just building in or are just coming in, if you have any questions at all when it comes to PC building, if you're curious about it, if you just want to get into it, you want to know what to start with, feel free to let me know, and I will certainly help you out with it. I will help you out with the build without issue. Also, if you have questions about upgrading as well, we can talk a little bit about that. If you're curious about any certain upgrades, feel free to ask. Also, when it comes to even power supplies, feel free to ask as well. So with the 9070 XT build, it's been quite impressive. I've been really happy with it. For everybody who is just joining in and curious about what I'm talking about exactly, it'll be this right here. Hopefully you guys can see it. Right now, that's how it looks like when it sleeps. Quite nice, right? It's quite a nice build. It's going to be quite exciting. And I really can't wait to show you guys on how it looks like when it comes to benching. It's, not the gimbal's acting crazy. I somehow accidentally turned it on. Because right now I'm kind of going off of it. Apologize for the camera shake there. Just hold it down real quick. There we go. So with this, with the PC build, we are going to get some benchmarks out there, which I will be pushing out on hopefully this week. I've tested it with ray tracing. I tested it without ray tracing. I've also tested it with frame generation. So JW Cruz says he has a quick question. What kind of motherboard would you recommend for a 9800 X3 3D? A type of motherboard that I would recommend to it, I would certainly recommend the ASUS eGaming motherboard. It's a great motherboard. It's not really as expensive either. It's an X870E motherboard as well. Now, if you are wary about, say, like their Q release, they've certainly updated the design. For those who don't know, there's been a little bit controversy about the design, which is when you install their graphics card, you could actually remove it buttonless, which is the feature. But some people were having issues to where if you had a certain PC case to take it out, it wouldn't come out as smooth. It would have an issue. And that's been a slow revision that has been kind of quietly fixed. So even on the X870E motherboards, such as the eGaming, that's a great motherboard to get. It's just like the perfect mid-range motherboard for it and perfect for gaming. You can certainly get that motherboard. I would highly recommend it. You'll know it's revised by when you look at the PCI Express slot. You'll see in the middle of it, there's usually like a metal, kind of like a metal sheet between it, and it shouldn't be there anymore, where it's very minimal. It's going to be very small anymore, and that would actually eliminate that. Now, if you don't choose to go with ASUS, that's perfectly fine too. MSI Carbon is a really good one too. They have a great X870E. That's a great mid-range one. I would highly recommend as well. Gigabyte's pretty good. Only problem I'd say with Gigabyte though, they have great motherboards. Don't get it twisted. They have excellent motherboards, and usually I feel like their quality is even they're higher than MSI. But again, you have limited capabilities when it comes to gigabytes. Now, the AORUS Elite is also a great choice as well if you're looking at a specific gigabyte motherboard. So for me, the top choices I would personally go with, top choice would be the ASUS X870E gaming motherboard, which is a great mid-tier board. Then number 2 would go MSI Carbon, X870E, and then right under it would go to the Gigabyte AORUS Elite X870E. So that's what I would say. So definitely take a look between those suggestions, I would say, for those 3 for certain. But great question, perfect question to ask during this time frame. For anyone who is, I apologize for anybody who was on accident is joining in through TikTok or through YouTube or Twitch. I apologize for that. Unfortunately, Comcast was going a bit crazy about the issue. I always had Intel, and this is my first AMD build, so I don't know much about AMD. That's why I asked. Sorry for... No, not at all. I'm actually expecting the questions. I'm glad you asked something like this, because that's something that I'm sure some people might be afraid of asking, which is perfectly understandable. Especially, there is really no dumb questions when it comes to PC building, first of all. We've all been there. We've all started from somewhere. We've all began PC building from somewhere. So it's a good question you asked that. And certainly, if you are interested in taking a look, I have some in my description box. Since you're on my YouTube, I have a lot of different motherboards there. And you can certainly take a look, or it can just lead you into the link. Like Newegg's a great place to look. Just look for a Newegg link there, and then you can certainly try to find it then. Also, if you are pairing it with the 9800X 3D, which type of graphics card are you thinking of planning it with? Did you manage to get your hands on one? Hopefully you did. I know a lot of people are having trouble getting their hands on one. Micro Center is just like bone dry. I want to go to Micro Center again with you guys too. And I also want to go to Best Buy with you guys, because I want to share the difference, especially over the years when it comes to Best Buy, of what their PC section looks like anymore, because it's just, I feel it's sad. Has anybody been to a Best Buy recently and taken a look at their PC section? So JW Cruz says, I have a 5070 Ti and also have oh wow, so you have 2 GPUs to choose from. Now, I know I can tell you for the 5070 Ti, the main difference is that it has more VRAM. And for the 5070 as just less. One's 12 gigabytes and one is 16 gigabytes. So I would definitely go with more VRAM if you can, especially with something like this. The good thing is it's on G7, so it's a little bit quicker. It's about like 28 gigabytes, sorry. 28 gigabytes a speed. It's on, should be, I think, on a 256-bit bus too. So you'll get decent speed out of it. Clock speeds aren't bad. I think it's on a GB205, which is a decent chipset for Blackwell. But certainly excited for your build. Make sure to share it with us, JW Cruz. Share it on our Discord channel, and feel free. I should just make a dedicated section just for PC building, for those who want to show off their PC pictures. And because I love seeing all different battle rigs, I like to see all the different ideas and different looks of it for sure. And if you're curious about, like, when it comes to cooling too, or what's the benefits of what's the best way to cool a PC, I would highly suggest just going through just intake first, which is going to be the front section of the PC. Very basic knowledge of when it comes to a PC. The front panel, you just want it as intake. Let me just flip it around so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about real quick. I know it's a lot of camera shake. I apologize for it. Hopefully the light isn't blinding for everybody on TikTok there. Or maybe I should just flip it around here, so that way you guys can see. That's better, right? Get some lighting on the PC itself. But if you see up here on the front side of it, on the front side, the front panel, you want to make sure that's on the intake side. You want to make sure that it's actually taking in air. So you want to make sure that it's sucking in air. That's the whole purpose of the front grille. Just the real basic design. You just want the air to go into the PC, the cool air. And when you look onto the side of it, you want all the hot air to exhaust out of it. So you want to make sure that your hot air will go. You want to typically have more intake fans than outtake or exhaust fans. So right now, the way this is set up, you just want all the cool air to come in and exhaust through the top, practically. So you just want, you never want it the opposite way. Then you'll get negative air pressure, which isn't good. It won't cool the PC as well. So it's definitely the best way to go for airflow, and a good way to really prevent any type of overheating issues or anything like that too. Same thing with the GPUs. Now, some of you can use risers if you prefer. You can flip it vertically to the side. And if you use a riser, you can certainly enjoy your GPU that way. Good thing about this, the Sapphire Nitro Plus Pro, which is, the Nitro Plus RX 9070 XT, the really good thing about it, it has like no ports on the side of it. So it gives it a real nice clean look. And it will look really nice if it was like a ASUS BTF board or something too. So JW Cruz says, my PC I have now, it's a Intel i9 14900K, ROG Strix Z790F gaming Wi-Fi, and a ROG Strix 3090 White Edition, 64 gigabytes of RAM, and Lian Li 360 AIO. Wow, that's quite the build actually. That's a great build. That's definitely a awesome build, actually. What makes you want to upgrade to AM5? I gotta say, because your build's actually very good, actually. F gamings are also ASUS F gaming boards are excellent too. I like them a lot. And the good thing about this too, about this build, it kind of, all the colors really match well. They blend well. The Sapphire fits very nicely with the Tough Gaming Wi-Fi Plus, don't you think? Especially once it powers on here. Let me turn that on real quick so you get the nice little RGB show. That's really nice looking, right? And again, this PC build was not a very expensive build. It was just slightly over $1,800, which is significantly lower than a RTX 5090. Because as you know, if you get an RTX 5090, it can cost upwards of nearly $3,400 to $3,500 USD. So it's expensive. And you could imagine how much euros that is because it's going to be even more expensive with their VAT tax. So let me go back here, flip this back around, guys. All right, shine the spotlight on me real quick. Ooh. Now, it's no kidding when they talk about heat when it comes from PCs, especially when you got a lot of PCs surrounding us. So JW Crew says, I've heard and seen that AMD, it's good for gaming, so better. It's good for gaming better, so I want to try it. Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. That doesn't hurt to try. I'm sure you've seen some benchmarks for it. It's really good when it comes to its overclocking. I gotta ask JW, when it comes to your processor, have you experienced some of the issues that they've said about Intel's chipsets? Because I'm sure you've known about it, about the refresh issues, about I think it was the voltage issues that they were having. And that was one issue I know that a lot of people complained about, that it wasn't processing correctly because of it. Were you having any of those issues out of curiosity? If you weren't, let me know. Because not everybody's going to experience any type of issues. You may, for example, for those who got the 50 series, you might not experience any of those 50 series issues. If you don't, that's great. Because, I mean, there was a ton of issues. Make sure you got your... Make sure you have all your ROPs. Make sure to check it out. So, okay. So you had the problem with the CPU too. So the good thing is when you go to AMD side, you won't have any issues with their CPUs. They're great for overclocking. You'll really like the PBO on it. So for anybody out there who has a Intel processor and thinking of going to AMD, make sure to check out AMD. They are excellent when it comes to CPUs. And the best part about AMD's processors, they have features such as PBO. They have infinity cache. They also have curve optimizations. So there are some advantages of it. It syncs really well, regardless if you have an NVIDIA card or a AMD card. Either way, you will have a much better time on their processors. Intel's been quite down recently, I gotta say. And JW Cruz says there's times where I couldn't play at all because it would get crash and would get super hot. That's right, because of the heat dissipation too, because it requires a lot of heat. You know what's disappointing though? Because Alder Lake was really good. Their 12th generation, when it came to Intel, was an excellent processor, but unfortunately, they've run into just constant issues afterwards. I don't know what Intel was thinking. I don't know what Pat Gelsinger was thinking. The 200 series has been quite rough, I gotta say. If you've seen the new Intel processors, such as the 15th gen, it's like nobody talks about it. That's how rough it is. And everybody just says, or refers back to the 13600, which is 2 generations ago. And right now it's on the 285K is their top of the line one now. And I think that they probably will have a 285KS maybe if they have it, which is going to be Intel's like their top gaming CPU practically, and great for productivity and for things like Photoshop. But it just Intel's just been really questionable. It's crazy. I haven't seen any Intel bros in a long time. It seems like everybody's has gone team red practically now. But you'll certainly experience a lot better time when it comes to AMD. Only thing you might notice different, I gotta say, when it comes to the AMD side, is you might notice that when it comes to their QR code, not QR codes, QR codes are those bar scanning parts, but the Q codes, when it comes to the motherboards, they're a little bit more difficult to detect. Sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not. That's the only negative thing I gotta say about the AMD side. But other than that, it's mostly very positive on the most end. So from something small like a Q code issue, it won't seem as nearly as big as having issues when it comes to the voltage issues when it comes to their processors. So, bam, guys, thank you guys so much for being part of the stream. I hope you sincerely enjoyed it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. I will certainly be streaming again this upcoming Saturday. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Yeah, I thought it was going to be perfectly smooth, but you know, updates, that they always got to screw it up somehow with updates here. So again, hopefully I see you guys soon. I hope to see you guys on Saturday. I'm really excited to. And we will discuss more, but we'll have more of PC discussions, more PC builds, and hopefully we see the benchmark numbers then. We can discuss it then. I will try to make sure to get that video out to you guys. If you have any questions at all, feel free to go to the Discord channel too. It's in the description box on my YouTube channel. If you don't know how to get to my YouTube channel, you could always check it out on my TikTok page, on my Twitch. It should be listed, or you could go to my website. Just go to chrismizo.com, and you could go to the icon, to the YouTube icon. Or I even have a shop on there too. So you can look for PCs on there too. I don't think I have much up there. I think I got like one PC up there. So I do have so if you're interested in getting a PC, feel free. Or if you want to inquire for one, feel free as well. And thank you guys so much for joining the stream. I hope everybody has a great day or evening, or depending where you are in the world. And let me see here. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to join the giveaway. I think this is the final week for the giveaway, so make sure to join it. Again, it's in my description box. Or if you're coming from TikTok, just look for it on my YouTube channel. It will be listed down there. And hopefully I've answered all your questions for everybody who was curious about it. Thank you guys again once more for watching. This is Chris Mizo signing out. Love you all.